Hi everyone, welcome to our yoga class today. For our class, we are going to need some yoga blocks, a blanket, wall space. If you don't have wall space, you can also use the chair as your wall space. I'll show you how to do it. If you do also like to have a chair as part of your practice, then have that as well. I added also this week to maybe having a pillow. It can just be a pillow like a pillow that you have on your couch. It could be a pillow like you have, on your bed. And we're just going to use this pillow in our practice. And we're going to actually start on our backs with the legs up the wall. And if you don't like that, then come onto your back into a Shavasana pose. And if you don't have a wall space, and also one other thing, when you do get to your wall, if you have this pillow, it might feel nice and comfortable to place the pillow on the floor and then put your hips on the pillow. It just makes it nice and more comfortable. And then you can take the legs up the wall. So if you are not around a wall space, but you have your chair, you can place your pillow on your chair if you want. Move your hips close to your chair. You can also use this as your beginning. And if you have neither, then you can simply just come to your back. You can place the pillow under your legs. You can even use the blanket as a pillow for your head. And you can find any one of these three starting poses. All are restorative. All can just help you to relax. So take your choice as to where you're going to be. I'm going to sit because I'm going to read to you while you're here on your mat. So find your comfortable pose. You can even just have your feet up on the couch and let your hips come close. That's fine also. But come onto your backs. Roll yourself down. Find your spot either at the wall, at the chair, flat on your back. Use the props that you have to help find you some comfort. So pillows under the knees, under the head, legs up the wall, legs on the chair, or lying flat in Shavasana pose. And just close your eyes. Close your eyes. Allow your arms to just be maybe out to the sides. Try not to let the arms touch anything. Your palms can be turned up, your palms can be turned down, either way. And take a deep, full breath in while you're here. And take a full exhale and release. And if it makes you feel a little bit more in tune with yourself, then place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. And here then you can start to feel your breath and feel your body. Maybe even noticing the warmth of your body on your hands. The warmth that your body is creating as you breathe in and out through the nose. The cool air that comes in through your nose and gets retained by the body, and then the body is heating this breath. And when you exhale the breath comes out warmer. Keep breathing in and out through the nose. And even find your Ujjayi breath. And if you're not sure what that is, then let's take a deep, full breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and exhale as if you're fogging up a window. Let it all go. Now doing the same thing, breathing in through the nose, and you're going to just close your lips. And as you exhale, let the breath come up the throat, just creating a wave-like sound. And let that sound help you to stay present on your mat, to stay present in your practice, to warm your body from the inside out. Keeping with this breath, just listening to the sound of my voice. And we're going to talk about the winter solstice. So December 21st is the first day of the winter solstice. And it's celebrated. It's a celebrated day. And this day is both the shortest and the darkest day of the year. And the term solstice actually means sun standing still. And that's why it's the longest, darkest day of the year. It's as if the sun is standing still. And from December 22nd onwards, the days gradually become lighter. And they get lighter and lighter and longer until the summer solstice, the longest day of the year. And that day is actually on June 20th, which happens to be my birthday. So if you're lucky enough to have a birthday on June 20th, you happen to have the longest day of the year, the lightest day of the year. And then the cycle begins again. And it's celebrated, this summer and winter solstices are both celebrated as a time to return to the light. That's most specifically the winter solstice. It's just a time to celebrate returning to the light. But first, on this winter solstice, we need to find the darkness through rest. And it's always through the darkness that you'll find your light. And often in yoga, we talk about being, feeling, and reaching toward light or lightness. But for the winter solstice, the shortest day of the year, we need to sink into stillness and to rest. We need to enjoy the hibernation and peace as we close our eyes and see the darkness. We need the rest, the relaxation, the stillness to recharge our batteries. And it is only possible to make the descent into darkness when you commit to stillness and quiet. Only you will know what that looks for you. Perhaps it is a time of meditation, of yoga, quiet contemplation, reading. Maybe it's taking breaks from social media or letting go of social engagements, embracing naps and downtime. However, it's only through deep rest that authentic healing and rejuvenation can be accessed. And our mantra for today's class is, I commit to stillness and quiet. I commit to stillness and quiet. And we'll just allow you to find your stillness for a moment or two. I'll keep my voice low or quiet so you can find that stillness and quiet through your breath. Now, if your legs happen to be up on the wall, start to bend your knees and place your feet on the wall. And if your legs are on the chair, just allow your knees to stay bent. And if you're lying flat on your back, just bend your knees and place the feet on the floor. Feel your feet, your legs. Take your arms overhead, reach overhead. Maybe clasp your fingers, flip your palms, and press the palms away from you. Grow a little longer in your side body. Keep your eyes closed. And then float the arms down the sides of your body. And then just practice opening and closing the legs. Even with your eyes closed, you know that your body is moving. You're noticing the hips. Pulling your belly button towards your spine. Try to release your low back in any way you can. Closing the knees, just place the hands on your knees. Maybe gently press forward with the hands and grow a little longer in your spine. Take your arms out to a T And let your feet walk down the wall, or if you're on the chair, just allow the legs to float to the right and find a twist. And if you're at the wall, the feet can still touch the wall. And your right hand comes to the left thigh, and you're going to gently guide the leg on the left leg into the twist a little deeper. Keep your eyes closed. Try to find comfort in the darkness, knowing that the light is to come. And then as you inhale, walk the feet back into center, pausing for a moment, taking another breath, maybe hands to the legs again, and lengthen by pressing through the tops of the legs to feel longer in your spine. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, allow the feet to walk to the left. And just let the legs float down. Take your gaze to the right, or closing the eyes, just turn your head. And your left hand comes onto the right thigh, and you pull this left leg into the twist a little deeper. You're growing a little longer in the right side of your body as your right hip draws away from you. Try to keep the shoulders on the mat. And from here, roll all the way over onto your left side. And let your left arm come up and rest your left head or left side of your head on your arm like a pillow. And if you need to move any of your props, you can move them off to the side, but close your eyes. Maybe place your right hand on the floor to feel grounded. Just breathe, nap, relax, find your stillness. Close the eyes and enjoy the darkness. The moment to go inward, to reflect, to restore, to recharge your battery. Softly breathing. And when you're ready, take a breath in, and as you exhale, pressing into your hands, let your body come upright. And take your time, maybe you're pausing. Take another breath in and out. Cracking open your eyes, just notice the light. And make your way back onto your mat, your way if you were off your mat from the wall. And come to a cross-legged seated pose. Now here, if you want to grab your blanket, you can place it underneath your hips just to give you a little bit more support. And let your thighs come off of the mat. Now I have my right shin in front. You can have either one in front, it's up to you. And then we're going to take your hands to your thighs, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in. And as you do that, shrug the shoulders to the ears. And then let the hands come to the shoulders, crossing at the chest. And in winter time, this is often the pose we feel as we're walking outside, tight and shrugging the shoulders to the ears, clasping the arms to try and find warmth. Take a breath in. As you exhale, release the hands, soften the shoulders, and let the arms float down. Maybe the palms are up, resting on the thighs. Just notice how it feels to let that tightness go. To soften, to not shrug, to not hold tension in your body. And then place your left hand on your left knee and reach your right arm forward, maybe as if you're reaching forward into the light. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, as if you're going to paint with your hand, let your hand just float back, maybe the wrist bends. And then let the arm float forward, maybe let the wrist bend the other way so the palm is facing out. And then like you're using a paintbrush, painting the right side of your wall or your space, let the right arm float back and the right arm float forward. And And your gaze can follow the arm. So just keep painting it, right? So bending the wrist, flexing the hand, letting the hand float by. Using your left hand to give you a little bit more leverage. And maybe taking one more time on this side, open up wide, maybe look back towards the right thumb. Here, maybe shift the left hand to the right knee and come into a twist where you're reaching behind you. With each exhale, twist a little deeper. Come back to center. Let both hands rest on the knees. And then inhale, bring the heart forward. And exhale, rounding. As you inhale, taking the arms overhead, breath in. As you exhale, releasing your hands to the heart, remembering our mantra, I commit to stillness and quiet. Take a moment here before we switch sides. Finding your quiet, your stillness. And then like we did before, take a breath in and shrug the shoulders to the ears. Taking the hands, maybe crossing the awkward way over the chest. Feeling like this is how it feels like outside in the cold. Shrugging the shoulders to the ears and feeling tight. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, soften, relax, release. Let your right hand find the right knee. And take the left arm out in front, reach it forward. And to counter some of the tightness, we're going to open up. So peel the left arm back with your painting with the hand and let the hand float forward, moving the wrists, letting your gaze follow the hand, using your right hand on the right knee to just twist a little deeper. And the arm is going to be at shoulder height and you're just going to open up and float it closed. Just open it up and then float it closed. And just do one more. Let the elbow bend. It doesn't have to be rigid. And with this next opening, peel the left arm back. Use the right hand now on your left knee to come into the twist. Reach the left arm a little bit more behind you. Exhale more to twist. And then make your way back into center and bring the hands to the knees. Cat and cow here seated. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, press, lift, and round. Now as you inhale, come to center and just switch the crossings of your legs. So just switch whichever one you had in front, switch it to the other one. And the hands come on the knees, and this time up and down with the arm. Let's bring the right arm up overhead, and the wrist can be bending, and then flex it and let the hand, and it's gentle, it's not overly flexed. Let the right arm float up and your wrist can be bent, reach up and float it down. Just getting into the shoulders and the spine as we twisted before, reach it up and then float it down. And we'll do the other side, left arm up. Just like you're painting, let the wrist just flow with the movement. Bring it up and then float it down. We have one more. Bring it up, reach up high, and then float the arm down. And then from here, we are going to take our legs and place the feet on the floor with the knees bent. And take your arms and hug your arms around your knees and roll into this tight ball as if you're trying to find some warmth. Let your chin come to your chest. Let your feet stay grounded. Let your arms hug around your body. Round your back, tuck your chin, stretch the back of your neck. Find your Ujjayi breath again. And then lifting the chest, we're going to extend the legs out in front and flex your feet. So if this is too much and your legs have a hard time being straight, you can take your pillow, your blanket, You can always place it underneath your knees, and it gives you just a little bit more support and more comfort. So if you feel like you have tight hamstrings, then place your legs, pillow or your blanket under the legs. And now here with the legs extended, we're going to take both arms out to the sides and to the front, sorry. And as you are taking a breath in, you're going to reach forward. And as you exhale, you're going to pull the arms to the right. So it's as if you're paddling. And then sweep the arms back forward, breath in. As you exhale, sweep the arms to the left as if you're paddling a boat. Inhale, arms forward. Exhale, sweep to the right. Inhale, arms forward, reach forward. Exhale, sweep the arms to the left. One more time each side. Inhale, arms forward and reach. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center and sweep to the left. Now take a breath in. This time reach your arms up overhead, breath in. As you exhale, let the arms come forward and hinge forward and find a slight forward fold. Now here's where you might find a bend in the knees, or maybe finding some benefit placing a pillow or blanket underneath the knees. Folding in, but think about pulling your heart forward. Don't let your body sink into itself. Think of drawing the heart forward, leading with your heart, always leading with the heart and reaching back with the sits bones. Take a breath, lift and find a little bit of length. And then exhale to fold in. Any amount. Then we're going to slowly come to rise. And you're going to make your way to all fours. So come to all fours your way. And if being on your knees is just not for you, then you can come to stand and place your hands, on a chair and just get ready for some cat and cow movement. So we're going to find either your blanket and come to the floor or up to your chair and make your way to all fours. Wrists under the shoulders, knees under the hips. And I always include this particular pose in each of my classes because it's just such a great pose. It seems so inactive, but it's very, very active. So for example, let's just move and roll the head and neck. So here on all fours with a nice and flat back, start to roll your head and neck. So making circles or figure eights, anything to just engage the head and neck. Maybe you're lifting the chin, maybe you're tucking your chin. Saying yes and no. And then find a neutral neck. And from here, press into the hands and let your back widen. And then lowering just the chest, just getting into the shoulders a little. Press, lift, and just get into the shoulders, the shoulder part of your cat and cow. And then lower the shoulders into the sockets. Press, lift, and widen. And then lower into the sockets. And now let's feel your spine and your tailbone. So moving the tailbone, let the belly drop, and then let the tailbone tip down and around. And then coming to your neutral spine, feel the tops of your feet on the mat, and then start to tap the tops of your feet on the mat. And if you're standing, maybe you alternate and tap one foot, and then switch and tap the other. And then practice curling your toes under. Maybe you do that one at a time if you're standing. And then come back to the tops of your feet. Now, as you inhale, draw your belly down, look up, maybe curl your toes under, slight bend in the elbows. And as you exhale, press into the hands, tuck your chin, round in your upper back, and press into the tops of your feet. As you inhale, drop your belly, gazes up, look up. As you exhale, press, lift, and round. Grip the mat with your fingers, pressing into the tops of your feet as you round to engage your core. Inhale to drop your belly, and exhale to press, lift, and round. Now from here, we'll find a neutral spine. Left hand is going to stay on the mat. We're going to peel your right arm up to the side. Peel it up. Lift up, look up, reach up. Open the heart. And then on your exhale, we're going to let your right arm come down and thread under the left, but let it hover as you reach to the left. And then with an inhale, we're going to take the arm up again, reach up. As you exhale, thread it through. Just pause, peel it up again, reach up. And exhale, thread it through. Now, as you thread it through this time, come on to your right shoulder. Let your hips be high. Take your left arm out in front. Reach it long. And just melt. Close the eyes. Just melt into the shoulder. Guiding your left armpit a little bit more to the mat. Keep your hips high. And if you're on your chair standing, you can still do this by supporting yourself with the chair. And then slowly, let's bring the left hand back to the mat and then peel the right arm up and release the right hand to the mat. Left arm is going to peel up, lift up, look up, sweep it up. As you exhale, thread the left arm under and through just to reach and hover the left arm. Press into the right hand, sweep the left arm up, reach, stick out your left hip. And then thread it under and through the right armpit. Heeling it up. The last time, lift and reach. And thread it through and come onto your left shoulder. Reach your right arm out in front. Maybe your chin is to the mat or your left cheek comes to the mat. Your tailbone is high. Keep reaching your right arm long. Keep applying a little pressure to the left arm to stretch the shoulder. And bring your right arm back to the mat. Right palm presses down and the left arm comes up. Reach up. And then slowly to release. Now our next pose is going to be a restorative pose. We'll be in it just for a couple of breaths. It is a pose that could be for some people and not for all people. You're going to have your blanket here. This is going to be where your hips are going to be. And then bring your shins onto the blanket. And actually, I'm sorry. Bring the pillow behind you. And we're going to place the tops of the feet on the pillow. Have your blocks handy. We're going to place the blocks down on the mat about shoulder width apart. So maybe my blocks are touching the outer parts of my mat. And if you take a second to just look at the camera first, I'm going to come down onto the blanket, place my hips on the blanket, and then I'm going to bring the blocks to my shoulders and allow my body to just adjust so that it can get the shoulders on the blocks, resting comfortably. You feel the shoulders, maybe some of your biceps, and then take the arms behind you like you're just lying on your stomach. You know, some of us, when we sleep on our stomachs. And this could be comfortable for some people, but not for all. And if this blocks under the shoulders doesn't work for you, then take them out and just place the tops of your feet on the pillow. And then let your forehead come to the mat. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, just soften. Maybe your chin comes to the mat. Maybe you turn your head and bring the right cheek to the mat. But allow the blocks to support you. Feeling the tops of the legs on the pillow, giving you a little bit of elevation in the legs. And your hips are resting on your blanket. And you can adjust in any way to help make this more comfortable for yourself. Maybe the blocks don't work for you. Maybe you don't like being on your stomach. But try to be with whatever feelings that you're feeling. And just notice what comes up for you. And now here with your body facing the ground, you can feel your breath as you breathe into your belly. As that breath tries to expand, feels the resistance of the ground. Maybe you turn your head to the other side when you're ready. And maybe your left cheek comes to the mat or you bring your chin back down. And if you're feeling any pressure from the arms pushing down, just soften and let your chest melt between the blocks. Try not to support yourself by pressing into the blocks with your arms. Just allow your chest to melt towards the mat. Allow your legs to feel supported. Feeling and resting your cheek on the mat. Breathe. And notice your breath here. Maybe it feels a little harder to take some of the breath in and let it go. But with each exhale, feel your body melt to the floor. With each inhale, feeling the lift of the chest, feeling the pressure of the belly as it tries to take breath in. And let your palms just turn up. Noticing the energy of your space. Just be here for one more breath. And then slowly start to lift your head and just push your blocks off to the sides and come back down now. And now allow your back to widen. Maybe you bring your cheek back to the mat. Feel the shoulders now as they touch the mat. We open them up a little bit, and now we're allowing the body to round. Arms are long down the sides of your body. Your palms are turning up. And then gently, let's bring the arms out in front, and using one hand to stack on top of the other, rest your forehead on your backs of the palms. Let your neck grow a little longer. Maybe you bend your right knee and then extend the right leg. And then bend your left knee and extend. And you're still resting the legs on the pillow as they release. Just feeling that comfort, softness. And then bend into both knees and let your legs just windshield wipe from side to side. So just let the legs float from left to right. And then pause at center. Take a breath in and take a breath out. Release your legs. Let them go. And then let your head come to the mat and take your hands and just press yourself up or roll and come up and find a child's pose. So I'm going to remove my pillow. You can keep your blanket here if you want. You can use the shins on your blanket, but come to child's pose, your way. Make it your way there. Take another breath. Rock yourself from side to side as if you're rocking yourself into that sleep. And then come to stillness. Come back to your breath. Take another deep, full breath in and widen your back body. And exhale through the mouth. Let it go. Feel the heat as it comes out of your body onto your mat. Another deep, full breath in through the nose. Open your mouth and exhale, warming up your mat with your breath and finding softness. And then allow yourself to come to sit, sweeping the legs around, out in front. You can still use your blanket here if you want. You can place the blanket down and come to sit on your blanket with the hips again on your blanket. And your left heel is going to come in towards your groin area, and your left knee bends and the left heel comes to your groin area. Your right leg is out, so you're in sort of a half straddle. And then here, your right fingertips can stay on the floor right outside your right leg, and your right toes are up to the sky. Let's sweep the left arm up and over for a side bend. But we're going to be more fluid, so let the left hand float down. And then the left hand floats up and over. Let the left arm float down, like you're painting again with the arm on the ceiling. And it doesn't have to be rigid. The elbow can bend. You can bend it over the head as you side bend from side to side. One more. And you'll make your way back into center, and now bring both feet into touch. Soles of the feet touch. Knees are wide. Flutter the legs. And then press the knees down and fold in. And this pose is called Baddha Konasana. And slowly come on up. And we're going to take the left leg out this time. Left leg long, half straddle, right ankle in, close to your groin area. Left fingertips come to the mat, and this time the right arm just floats up on the inhale as you side bend left and float the arm down, like you're painting the ceiling. Try and keep your right leg grounded as best you can, and keep your spine long but fluid as you lean into your side bend. And be gentle about it, not fast, go slow. Just feel each movement. Reach up and over. Come back. We have one more, up and over. And then come back to center. Now let's place both feet onto the floor. And take your hands behind you. So try and keep your hands off of your blanket if you can. We're going to come into a reverse tabletop. So before we were on all fours, and now we're sort of coming into this pose the opposite way. So your feet are hip distance apart, and your fingertips can come towards your hips, or they can turn out just slightly. And then we're going to root down through the feet, and maybe you lift your hips up just a little bit, just enough to hover off of your blanket. Or rooting down through the feet and the palms, lift your hips up higher, maybe open the throat, and keep the shoulders from the ears. Breathe into your belly. And then exhale to lower. From here, we're going to make your way into your downward dog. So that could be on your mat, it could be on your chair, it could be at a wall if you want. Find your way to your downward facing dog. And when you get there, just pedal out your feet. Shake your head yes and no. Maybe pause, bend one knee, and turn to let the one knee come in through center for a little rotation of the right leg. Back to center, bend your left knee, let the left knee turn towards the right. And then find your downward dog. So like I said, either on the mat, on a chair, on the wall. Take a deep full breath in, open your mouth, exhale it out, maybe even stick your tongue out. Let it go. And then find your stillness in this pose. Find this triangle shape for your body. Moving into some standing poses just to create a little bit of heat in the body. We're going to make our way forward towards the front of the mat, either hands to feet or feet to hands or a combination of the both of them. And when you arrive towards the front of your mat, let's bring the hands onto your shins and lengthen your spine. You can also bring hands to your thighs. Let your back be flat. Let your head, crown of the head, reach long towards the front. And then gently fold. You can bend your knees. If you have your blocks handy, you can always place your hands on the blocks. And then as you inhale, lift again, find your length. And as you exhale, fold. One more, inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Now let's separate our feet about hip distance, maybe a little bit wider. And take your right hand to your left leg. Maybe it's your thigh, maybe it's your calf. And just twist, maybe the left hand comes to the hips and you look to the left. You get just this little twist. And then as you inhale, come to center, take your left hand to the right leg and your right hand to the sacrum. And look to the right, maybe look over the right shoulder. Come back into center, fold in, maybe hands to the blocks or floor. And then heel toe your feet closer, bend into the knees, bring your hands to the hips. And then lift your chest and reach your arms up overhead. Breath in, look up. As you exhale, hands to the heart. Now with your next inhale, take the arms up overhead, palms are forward. And let your fingers just flutter or flicker. Let the fingers just flutter or flicker and allow the arms to just float down as if it's like snow coming down. The fingers just move and flutter. And then take the arms up overhead. And then as you exhale again, let the fingers just flutter. It's just a nice way to get the wrists, the hands, the fingers moving. Let it feel as if it's like snow coming down. One more time, take it up. Breath in. And as you exhale, allow the fingers to just flutter as the arms float down. Now take your arms out to the sides, breath in. And as you exhale, let's take the arms behind you and grab opposite elbows. So here, you're grabbing opposite elbows, maybe walking the hands a little bit more to grab your triceps. And then from here, we're going to draw the shoulders back and inhale, let your heart lift, maybe open the throat. As you exhale, release the arms, wrap the arms around you for a hug. Feel the warmth of your own body as your arms embrace you. And then as you inhale, take the arms out to the sides again and bring the arms again back behind you, but this time maybe find the awkward crossing of the arms and grab opposite elbows, really walking the arms a little bit more to the triceps. Finding this pose first. And then as you inhale, lift your chest, maybe open the throat, slight movement of the hips forward. And then tuck your chin and release your arms. Just let your arms shake out and release. Now from here, let's take the arms up overhead, breath in. And as you exhale, float the arms down, find your blocks. And just step back with your left foot. And bend your right knee, come into your lunge, lift the back heel, root down through the right foot. Make sure that your right ankle and knee are in line. And let your left hand stay here on the block. Maybe bring your right hand to your sacrum, to your hips, and then turn to look over the right shoulder. Maybe here now you can reach the right arm up to the sky. Keep hugging the right hip in. Keep lifting your left thigh. Keep squeezing the legs towards one another. Now as you inhale, start to unwind. Let the right hand land on the block. Step forward, let your feet meet. Just fold your way in. Fold in. Take a breath, find your length. Exhale, fold. Now as you inhale, find your length, and as you exhale, step back with your right foot. And find your lunge, left ankle and knee are in line. Keep hugging your left hip under. Don't let your left hip pop out to the left. Pull it in. Now from here, we're going to keep your right hand on the mat. Make sure you're finding nice sturdy feet here. Find your feet first. And then take the left hand to your sacrum. Looking over the left shoulder, start to peel the left shoulder open. Maybe the left arm reaches up to the sky. Breath here, inhale, keep hugging the left hip in. Keep lifting your left thigh. Stay high in the ball of your back foot. And then inhale to unwind, left hand to the block. Step forward, let your feet meet and fold. This time, rooting down, we're going to rise up, sweep your arms up and reach. As you exhale, hands to the heart, mountain pose. Coming into a warrior two pose, we're going to turn to face the left side of your mat and step your legs wide. We're going to turn your right toes out and bring your arms out parallel to your mat, arms out to the sides. Now, left toes have to turn in and press out through the left outer foot. Right toes turning towards the front of your mat. Bend your right knee and come to find your warrior two. Bend into the right knee, reach the arms, take your gaze forward. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. One more breath in. And one more breath out. Straighten the right leg, hands to the hips, parallel your feet. Left toes out, right toes in, press into the outer right foot, bend your left knee any amount. Take your arms long, reach the arms in opposite directions. Take your gaze over your left fingers. Find your warrior two, reach the arms in opposite directions, bend the knees, ground down through the feet, lengthen in your spine, feeling long in the neck, shoulders from the ears as you reach the arms long. Straighten your left leg, hands to the hips, parallel your feet, and step to let your feet meet. Good. We're going to do just a short sequence, and then we're coming back down onto our mat. Let's take your arms up, breath in, reach, and exhale, float the arms down. As you inhale, find your length. As you exhale, we're going to step your left foot back and find warrior one. Pivot and plant your left foot. Let's root down through the feet, lift your chest. When you're ready, take your arms overhead or out in front. That's okay too. Hands to the hips are okay also. Find your warrior one, reach up, inhale. And exhale. Can you clasp your fingers and flip your palm and press the palms to the sky to grow a little longer, reaching the arms up for the sun. As you exhale, let the arms release and flutter the fingers as the arms come down the sides of your body. Take a breath here. As you exhale, circle your left arm up and open into warrior two. Shift your feet and find your warrior two. Excellent. Reach the arms. Find your warrior two. Flip your right palm, bring it up into peaceful warrior. Right arm up. Right forearm to thigh. Left arm either to the hips or up to the sky or over the ear. As you inhale, rise up. Find your two. Parallel your feet, so straighten the right leg, parallel the feet, hands to the hips, and step to let your feet meet. And we'll come back to the front of your mat to do the other side. Take a breath in, reach up. Exhale, float the arms down. As you inhale, find your length. And as you exhale, we're going to step back with your right foot. And just pivot and plant your right foot. Find your warrior one feet first. And then root down through the feet, maybe the hands to the hips or the thighs. Feeling a little bit more, take the arms out in front. And wanting even more, take the arms overhead. Bend your left knee, root down through the right leg, and press through the outer right foot a lot. Now here you can clasp your hands the weird way, maybe press the arms up to the sky. If your arms are forward, you can always press forward. Reaching up and growing a little longer, breath in. As you exhale, let the hands release and flutter the fingers as the arms float down. Let your right arm reach forward, and then circle your right arm up and open into warrior two. So just adjust your feet and take a moment. Bend your left knee and take your arms out to the sides. Reach the arms out long. Take your gaze over the left fingers. Bend your left knee and find your warrior two. Flipping your left palm up, reach up and back for peaceful warrior. Right hand to the right leg, left arm up. And then left forearm comes to your thigh. And the right hand can come to your hip. And you can look over the right shoulder. Maybe you reach the right arm straight up to the sky. Maybe the right arm comes up over the ear. Make your way back into warrior two. Settle here for a breath. Then straighten your right leg and parallel your feet. Bring your hands to the hips and walk your feet into stand. So from here, we're going to come down onto our backs again. We're going to start to slow down and come into a little bit of a back bend before we find Shavasana pose. So I have 2 blocks, and I'm going to set my blocks up so, and it's going to be up to you. Maybe you want 1 block really high and 1 block flat, but 1 block is going to be, it's almost like they're in like a T shape, where you have 1 block that supports your head and 1 block that comes in between your shoulder blades. Now, you can roll your way down onto your blocks. Let your head be cushioned by 1 block. Let your shoulders be separated by the other. If it's okay, you can either let your knees knock in and your feet be wide, or you can do the opposite, let the soles of your feet touch and let your knees be wide. So one or the other, either knees are open or knees are closed. And then take the arms out to the sides. And again, you might just need to adjust to feel this heart opener. And perhaps maybe you just not really loving heart openers, but it just sometimes feels good to allow your body to feel supported by the block, to not have to do the work of opening the heart, but allowing the heart to just naturally open as the shoulders soften. So your blocks can be at whatever level feels comfortable for you. But take a moment here in silence, closing the eyes, noticing your body in this shape. You can always shift your legs if they get uncomfortable, or extend the legs, bend the knees, whichever you feel like with the legs. But let your heart open. Take a deep, full breath in. Lift the chest, and as you exhale, soften into the block. Just a few more breaths. Take a deep breath in. Release your breath. Just roll to one side. Let the knees come together. Let them roll to one side. And just roll off of your blocks. Using your left arm again, or your other one arm as a pillow, find your fetal position. Now moving your blocks and coming back onto your back. Let the soles of your feet come to the ground, knees are bent. Place the block in between your thighs. And we'll come up for 1 regular bridge, and then we'll do 1 restorative bridge. So let the heels come close to your hips. Let your legs squeeze the block. And then as you inhale, just gently lift your hips. Your eyes can be closed. You can rock side to side and tuck the shoulders a little bit more underneath you to get a little bit more connection, to lift the heart. And then lower the hips down. Release the arms. Take the block and let's place it underneath the hips this time, supporting you. And you can place this at any level that feels comfortable for you. You could place 1 or 2 blocks, but I want you to feel the hips on your block. And let your body just sink into the block like it's no effort at all. And your legs can knock in, your legs can stay active. You can even take your other block if you want and place it between the thighs. It's up to you. It's your practice. It's your body. It's however you feel good. Just a couple breaths. Allow the block to do the work for you. It's okay to be feeling like you're being taken care of. You're in a safe space. You can close your eyes and just feel the shape as it is. And when you're ready, you can extend your right leg long and just notice how this changes the pose for you. You can allow the right leg to be a little bit more soft. It doesn't have to be so active. You feel the hip flexor on the right leg a little bit more. Maybe you feel a little bit more in your back. And then bend the right knee, place the right foot onto the floor, extend the left leg long, and you can just let the left leg be. It doesn't have to be active. It can be loose. And then rebend the left knee, placing both feet on the floor, lifting the hips just so you can move the block out from under you. And as you come into your figure 4 here, we're going to bring your right knee to the chest and place your right ankle on the left thigh. Just press away. Gentle. And then release the right leg to the ground and bring the left ankle to the right thigh and just press away. Flex your left foot. Grow a little longer in your spine. And then release the right leg to the ground. And we're going to bring the hands down the sides of the body and just here windshield wipe your legs from side to side. Open through center, closing to one side, open through center. Then knees to the chest. Reach for the feet and find happy baby. Knees into the armpits, soles of the feet to the sky. Let the hands pull the feet down. Let the feet press back into the hands. Or do this without any effort at all and just rock and let the legs bend and move and flow. And bring the knees into your chest, the feet to the floor. And here's where I want you to decide where you'd like your Shavasana pose to be. So Shavasana pose is really important because it brings us back to life, right? So we take this rest at the end of our practice and it recharges us to bring us back to life. So if you want to come back to feet up the wall, maybe find your pillow, place it under the hips or under your head. You can come to your chair and bring the legs again as we started our practice onto the chair. I'm going to come onto my back and bring the pillow underneath my knees. But what I'd like everybody to do is to take their blanket, open their blanket up, and cover your body with the blanket. So just allow this blanket to cover you from maybe from toes to up all the way to your chin. You can let your arms come down the sides of the body, and if your legs are up the wall, maybe you're covering your torso. But feel this blanket as it covers you, as it holds you, as it generates heat for you, keeps that body heat in. Take a deep, full breath in. Open your mouth, sigh it out. Soften. Let go. Release. And find peace in stillness. Rest. Let it all go. Just take a breath in and notice the sound of my voice. Staying where you are. I'm going to read you something from Jeff Foster. It's called Sacred Exhaustion. Your tiredness has dignity to it. Do not rush to treat it or push it away, for it may contain great intelligence, even medicine. You've been on a long journey from the stars. Bow before your tiredness now. Do not fight it any longer. There is no shame in admitting that you can't go on. Even the courageous need to rest. A great journey lies ahead, and you will need all of your resources. Come, sit by the fire of presence. Let the body unwind. Drop into the silence here. Forget about tomorrow. Let go of the journey to come and sink into this evening's warmth. Every great adventure is fueled by the rest at its heart. Your tiredness is noble and contains healing power if you would only listen. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. You make gentle movements with your body. Start to bend into the knees. If you have a blanket on you, maybe allow the arms to come out of the blanket and reach overhead. You can still keep the blanket on you if you want to pull the knees into the chest. You can hug it with the blanket around you. You can roll to one side or the other, coming back to our fetal position, coming back to where it begins. Take a breath in. Take a breath out. Keep your eyes closed. Pressing into the hands as you inhale, start to rise, keeping the eyes closed if you can. You know your body. You know how to make the way to a seated pose. You can do this. With the eyes closed, bring the hands to your thighs. You know where they are. Let your hands slide to the kneecaps, and as you inhale, pull the heart forward. As you exhale, start to bring the hands to heart center. Gentle lift in the chin. Take a deep breath in. Take a full breath out. Crack open your eyes and see the light. Take another full breath in and out. Join our voices in the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Bowing your head to heart with so much gratitude. Thumbs to the third eye. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.